Hey Beckham-Wando, I'm Luca Alberon and you're watching East Cooper Student News. Today on the show, a teaching celebrity visits Wando and the CAS for a cool pep talk, plus how one teacher is crushing the curriculum in the classroom and cutting down the wood to make some cool projects. And we've got the latest action on the court for the Battle of Mount Pleasant. It's January 25th, 2023, and ECSN starts right now. Thanks for watching ECSN. I'm Luca Alberon. We're about a week into a brand new semester, and a bunch of East Cooper teachers and students had the chance to recharge their batteries in a pretty cool way. Last Tuesday, a famous education author, podcaster, and blogger spent some time with teachers and students. Our ECSN reporter Liz Balestrini tells us how one celebrity helped several of us start the year off.
Teachers at the CAS, Wando, and Beckham are starting off second semester feeling energized after the CAS held an event in Wando's PAC. Last Tuesday, teachers heard from a man named George Kuros. Kuros is a speaker, podcaster, blogger, and former educator. If there's such thing as a celebrity in the teaching world, George is that celebrity, and he's happy to share his message.
I think there's two things. I want to share some of the stuff that I'm learning and that has kind of really helped me in my own development. I don't think it's really important for me to share anyone how they should teach, but really how we learn and really think about that.
And teachers were ready to hear what he wanted to share. More than 160 adults, 11 schools, 12 businesses, and roughly 50 Wando CAS students attended his speech. E.C. Setzer is a huge fan of what George had to say.
I just got reinvigorated, re-inspired, excited. When I first picked up his book and read it, I thought, wow, there's teachers that think like me, that do a little bit crazy things, and everything he said just reminded me of why I chose to be a teacher.
And on Tuesday, George's message hit home. Teachers like Setzer got pumped up for the new year, but it wasn't a message that just connected with teachers.
Having kids in a talk is one of my favorite things ever because that's who you're accountable to. And so I like to hear their ideas. They came up to me right after and I asked them their thoughts and they really appreciated what I shared and they wanted me to be an advocate for them.
50 Wando and CES students attended the speech and said that it gave them a different perspective about everything.
I loved it. I mean, I think everything that he was saying, he just had such a good viewpoint on everything. Just the way he was thinking and making everything in the students' viewpoint as well as the teachers made it really well.
It reminds me what an incredible opportunity my kids have at the CAS and at Wando, getting to experience classes all around them that show an innovator's mindset, and it's just exciting for these teachers to hear that what they're doing is really truly making a difference and getting re-inspired and reinvigorated by George too.
Having a perspective about the opportunities we have in school is something teachers and Kuros say is important.
I think they're realizing that their future isn't written and it's not scripted, that they can do anything they want to do and be anything they want to be. I know that sounds a little bit cheesy and old school, but it's true. And I think kids have forgotten that they're not just in a box and they have to check this class and check that class. They can explore new paths and try different things every day.
I think one of the really nice things about today was not that just students were there, but community members there and kind of really talking about that conversation. A lot of times we have this understanding of like, well, parents want this, business members want this, students want this, but we don't really know that until everybody gets in the room. So I think that's one thing I really appreciate about today. And I think we need to do that more in education because we always move further when we work together.
And last week's events helped the teachers and students who were there reset and get ready to work together in the second semester. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Liz Balestrini.
Thanks, Liz. As we start a new semester, we want to take a look back at some really strong finishes to last semester. We start with the Biomedical Science program. Seniors spent an entire day going around the CAS presenting a capstone project on a topic of their choice. The project really highlighted what students learned from their time spent in the biomed program.
I was able to problem solve differently than I have in previous classes just because I was able to conduct my own observational study, and that alone had its own challenges.
As I go around and talk to the students, some of them did a career exploration in something that they wanted to do, and this verified that this is what they want to do. Others feel like they have done a great job of promoting an awareness, and so that gives them a sense of accomplishment in that way.
Over in the business program, Mr. Freilich's students presented business plans in front of Yes Carolina judges. The top 3 plans in each class won a cash prize, and the top 2 from each class have a chance to compete for $3,000 in April. The 3 first-place winners were Matthew Thomas, Bella Mitlow, and Sydney White. Congratulations to them and the others who will compete in April. Downstairs in Mr. Paul's Photo 2 class, students' final project was to tell a story solely through photographs. Students could tell their story in any order they wanted to as long as they used photos. One of his students, Hannah Tagami, is a pole vaulter. She chose to show what it's like for her at practice. Hannah joins us now to walk us through her final project with some cool imagery.
My project was on the world of pole vaulting, and I wanted to do it to teach people more about what goes on behind the scenes as well as the actual actions of vaulting. So I had 2 narratives in my project. The first one being the details, the equipment, just everything like behind the scenes of the actual vault, which include the shoes we wear, which are called spikes. We have chalk that we use to keep our hands dry when we vault. We have a variety of different poles that we use that all range in different sizes and lengths. And obviously a lot of what goes into it is just going one after the other, and each time you go, you get coached and you kind of fix what was wrong with the first vault. So it's a bunch of just trial and error. And then the actual vault is, take off, you have to swing up, and, you get upside down, you turn, you go over the bungee. We vault at practice with bungee, but we vault over a bar at competition. And then, landing on the pit, which is the final, step of pole vaulting. So that's what my project was about, and I just hope that people have learned and have just gotten a little more of what goes on around the whole scene of pole vaulting.
What you might not know about Hannah is that she holds the girls' pole vaulting state record at 13 feet 1 inch. She'll have a chance to beat her own record this spring during track season. Before track season starts, basketball season needs to finish, and over winter break, we caught some live action between Wando and Beckham on the basketball court. ECSN sports reporter Annie Wilburn has all the action from Beckham's gym.
Before break, Beckham packed the house as they hosted Wando. Bengals were trying to earn their second non-region win of the season. First quarter, Bengals come out hot. Malachi Coakley drills 3 off the edge to score the first points of the game. Bengals start the game on an 8-0 run. Later in the first, Wando pushing back. Quentin Dugdale finds Cooper Biller, who takes it in for a layup. Back the other way, Thomas Oppold gets another quick 3. Beckham clings to a 14-11 lead. Warriors back with the ball. Dugdale finds Biller again, who flushes a 3 to end the first. Crowd goes crazy. Game is tied 14-14. Second quarter now, Bengals pulling away. Noah Bales swishes a 3 for the Bengals, followed by another 3 for Tyson Smith. Beckham led 40-29 at the half and went on to win 68-54.
Also over the break, one CAS student was able to take the football field for one last time, but not how you'd expect. Anaya Akinjobi is an athletic trainer at the CAS in Wando, and she was selected to be the student athletic trainer for the North-South football game, which is an all-star football game between the upper state and lower state. Anaya was the only athletic trainer selected from the lower state.
As far as athletic trainers go, they only choose 2 students out of all of South Carolina, one from upstate, one from low state. So only one athletic training student was eligible to be chosen from lower state of South Carolina, and Anaya was that person who was chosen.
I was very happy because I really actually wasn't expecting me to get picked, because it did take a while. The day of the game, it was really high-paced, which I'm glad it was because Wando football team, they prepared me for that. But my experience overall, it was really good.
So many East Cooper students are lighting the way as we start a new year, but they aren't the only ones. Mr. Banker teaches computer science and video game design. Earlier this month, he was named the 2022-23 CAS Teacher of the Year.
I don't even know how to react. It's something that I've thought of and hoped for a while. I know that I work with tons of fantastic teachers. I see what goes on in this building every day. I see the hard work, I see the ingenuity, I see the creativeness that happens, and honestly, I'm very humbled to even be put up for this, let alone win it.
Over at Wando, Miss McGee was named their Teacher of the Year. Both of them will have a chance to be named the Teacher of the Year for the whole county later this year. Congratulations. The month of January is almost over, which means there's a good chance several of you are starting to give up on those New Year's resolutions. ECSN reporter Ella Davis joins us now with some tips to keep your resolution going strong all through 2023.
It's officially 2023, and just like every year, New Year's resolutions are made and broken. If you've ever made a New Year's resolution before, it might look or sound something like this. The most popular New Year's resolutions are to improve your physical health, eat a better diet, save more money, and travel more. All of these are great goals, but New Year's resolutions are often broken or forgotten about by February. People tend to overcommit when setting their goals for the year, and that leads to them being forgotten. If your resolutions aren't realistic, it sets a high chance for you to not be able to complete them. Some ways to be consistent are to set smaller goals for yourself month by month instead of by the year. Set goals that you know will be within your reach to achieve. Be more specific about things you'd like to accomplish this year. Find friends and family that will keep you accountable, and give your resolution time to become a habit. Consistency is the key this year, and if you stick with it, it'll become a habit in no time. Here's to the best year for resolutions yet. This is Ella Davis signing off for ECSN.
Thanks, Ella. We end our show today with one of the busiest teachers you'll ever meet. ECSN reporter Rachel Peak tells us how one Wando teacher is balancing his job, being a new father, and managing his own woodworking business.
When you walk into room F202 at Wando, you're going to see a pretty lively government classroom. This classroom is led by Dr. Jason Bersini. He's been teaching for more than 14 years, both at Wando and as an assistant principal here at the CAS.
Have a full-time job where any teacher will tell you it's anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week, depending on what you have.
40 to 60 hours of work a week is plenty of work for anyone, but Dr. Bersini also just had a baby last March.
So my wife and I welcomed a new baby girl almost 8 months ago now, so she obviously takes priority.
Needless to say, Dr. Bersini is a busy guy. But when he's not teaching or taking care of his daughter, you can find him here in his woodshop. Bersini developed a hobby for woodworking during the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
During COVID, everyone was into house projects, like they were huge. And I was in the shop for 3 straight months during that summer.
Since then, he has been able to turn this hobby into what is now a part-time career.
So my company, Low Country Roots Woodworking, has been around about 3.5 years, ever since we moved into our house.
Now he's developed a client base. Bersini built everything from tables to custom built-ins for people's homes. However, now he's had to find a way to manage teaching, parenting, and keeping his customers happy with on-time orders.
I usually try to have 30 minutes to an hour in the shop to get something done. But on the weekends, I try to box out some time if I don't have too many school things going on. Especially if I have a project for a customer, I try to box out anywhere from, 6 to 8 hours.
Although Bersini is dedicated to his business called Low Country Roots Woodworking, he says he doesn't plan on making it a full-time job just yet.
Right now, I kind of like what I'm doing because it's a little bit of both worlds, and I don't get burned out on any one part.
For the time being, Bersini is happy to keep his passion part-time while he continues to do what he thinks is the more important work of teaching kids. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Rachel Peak.
Thanks, Rachel. If you want to see Dr. Bersini's work, check out his website, lowcountryrootswoodworking.com. He also uses some proceeds from his business to donate a scholarship to a CAS Lighthouse Keeper. That's all for our show today. We want to remind you that tonight is the CAS and Wando Curriculum Fair from 6 to 7:30. There will be shuttles back and forth so you can see all the cool programs both schools have to offer. For more information, you can visit the CAS website. Next month also starts CTE month at the CAS. If you or someone you know is interested in being a guest speaker, scan the QR code on your screen and complete the form. That's all for our show. We'll see you in February. I'm Luca Albron, signing off for ECSN.